Facebook, and welcome back to another Friday Facebook Live. I'm once again Dr. Alan Van Scoyk, and I'm joined by Dr. Botros, and we're here at the Glendale location of Chiropractic Company. Today we are taking some inspiration from a little interesting event that we had going on earlier in the week with the tropical storm Crystal Ball, as it actually managed to make it through our area, a very rare occurrence to have a tropical storm in Wisconsin. So today we're going to be talking about water. We get a lot of questions about water in our office, and if you've spent much time here, you'll know that I talk about water all the time. It is one of the most common things I tell my patients to do. Drink and drink lots of it. What do you think about that, Dr. Botros?
I think that's very, very important. As a matter of fact, there's studies that have shown that when you look at brain scans, even just mild dehydration can actually significantly shrink the size of your brain. And before you get too worried, just know that these effects are thankfully reversible, but that actually has a tremendous effect on our performance and even our mood and cognition. So one of the things that they found, for instance, is that if you are dehydrated, even mildly, one of the most common symptoms of dehydration, cognitively speaking, in terms of your thinking and mood, is actually fatigue. And the second one is sleepiness, and the third one is confusion. So if you ever wake up in the morning feeling tired, sleepy, and kind of confused, chances are you're probably dehydrated. And so it might be a good way to start off the morning by drinking a nice cool water in the morning to get you hydrated as well.
Really interesting. Yeah, there's a study that was shown for young women and teenagers that showed that when they had a fluid loss of just 1.3%, that it actually impaired both their mood, concentration, and increased their frequency of headaches. So I have a teenager, and once again, those kind of things happen a lot in our household. So I always am telling my child to make sure that she's drinking lots of water. Now I also have a son, and so they did a study on boys as well. And for this study, it showed that a decrease in 1.5% as far as hydration is concerned increased feelings of anxiety and fatigue. So once again, for our young adults, teens, younger children, you see a lot of things as far as mood issues, a lot of things as far as anxiety is concerned. So if we want to combat that, simply have them drink more water. Now I know this is tough during the school day where many times they're just not able to get out and drink as much water as they should, but a lot of schools have gone very far in allowing children to bring along water bottles, take lots of more frequent breaks to drink lots of water. It's become an important part of the daily routine now in schools, and so I highly encourage your kids to take advantage of that. Make sure that they're drinking lots of water.
Absolutely. And interestingly enough, here's a little pop quiz for you guys. Which form of water, like temperature-wise, do you think you can absorb more of? Is it room temperature water or cold water?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Even I don't know this one. Which one is it?
So believe it or not, according to studies, and I actually didn't know this either, cold water, you absorb 20% more hydration from cold water than room temperature water.
That's amazing.
Isn't that something?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that also kind of brings us back to our next point, in that cold water is actually one of those things that can actually help with weight loss. So we don't necessarily deal a lot with weight loss here in the office, but we know that stress on your body is stress. And the more weight that you're carrying unnaturally and unhealthily causes more stress into your spine as well. And so there's a lot of good studies out there that show that drinking more water actually promotes weight loss. There's a study that showed that it actually increases your overall metabolic rate, which means how much calories you are burning. Drinking just a half a liter or 17 ounces of water was shown to increase your metabolism by 24 to 30%. That's not just with eating, that's just drinking more water boosts your metabolism. So you want to burn more calories? Really easily drink more water. Very simple. What kind of water? Once again, they've shown that drinking colder water actually causes your body to have even bigger losses as far as weight is concerned and burn more calories. But we talk about drinking water. The question becomes, how much should I really drink? And this is a tough one, and this is one that also kind of brings us back to chiropractic a little bit as well. So Mayo put out guidelines as far as how much water each person should be consuming on a daily basis. Now, what they recommended was about 3.7 liters of water for men and about 2.7 liters for women. So that's a fair amount. When it comes down to it, it's about 15 cups and 11 cups of water. A lot of us have heard, make sure to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water every day. Really, unfortunately, in most patients, that's not enough. Now, as far as water consumption is concerned, we're going to get some drinking it, but we're going to get some in the foods that we eat as well. And when we're eating good, natural, healthy foods, we're actually going to consume a lot more water than a lot of the processed foods. So when we talk about hydration, more natural foods that you're going to get, the more water you're going to get in there as well. Really important for us. Now, how does this tie into chiropractic? We talk about how much water should you drink, and it's really hard to gauge because your lifestyle plays a big role in this as well. If you're very active, you're going to need more water. But if you're a little more sedentary, you're not going to need as much water. And people ask us the same question of, how much chiropractic care do I need? Well, each person is a little bit different. Their lifestyles, are encompassing all sorts of different stresses, and so the more stress that you have on your body, the more care you'll eventually need. The same thing holds true with water. The more stress that you place, many times the more water you're going to end up needing.
Absolutely. And so it is really important to double down on this concept of understanding that you don't have to necessarily go out there and drink 15 cups of water if you're eating healthy, vibrant, green leafy vegetables and fruits and things like that. Because there is a phenomenon that can happen if you drink too much water too. So too much of a good thing is not necessarily good.
Sadly true, and it's not drowning. There's actually a different situation where it'll actually pull out some of the nutrients. So you don't want to overdo it, but most people that we found are very dehydrated. So we'd rather have you err on the side of just a little bit too much.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, the data has shown 3 out of 4 Americans are chronically, meaning for a long time in their lives, are dehydrated. So it's better to err more towards drinking water as opposed to being in that part of the statistics here.
One other interesting thing as far as weight loss is concerned, and when I talk with weight loss with some of my patients, I don't necessarily tell them to stop eating certain things or avoid certain things. What I try to encourage them to do is eat more of the good things or drink more of the good things. And if you're consuming just pure water, then that means you're not consuming caffeine drinks, you're not consuming all the sodas, because you're getting all the stuff that you need through just pure drinking water. So not only does it have all these other metabolic effects, it's also stopping you from drinking all the other sugary things that you might have in the past. So like I said, it's real important for us to make sure that we get rid of that statistic as far as being chronically dehydrated and work towards drinking enough water. So that's our topic for today. Once again, we have a couple different ideas for next week, but we're always excited to hear some of your suggestions. We've had one from a sciatic standpoint, but we're always looking for more suggestions. So if you have any other comments, please let us know either here in the office. Our office, once again, is in Glendale on Port Washington Road. Or if you want to contact us through our phone, 414-332-0859. You can leave comments for us through there, or you can call to make an appointment, or you can get on our website,
chiropracticco.com, or you can Google Chiropractic Company, and we're in the Glendale location.
And that way we can get a hold of any of those comments and talk to you through that as well. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your Friday, and we'll see you next week.